Chicago, 1893. The world's Columbian Exposition dazzled with electricity, the Ferris wheel, and marvels of progress. Over 27 million people flooded the city, but hidden in the shadows was a place that would become known as America's first serial killer hotel. It had hidden passageways, staircases that ended in brick walls, windowless rooms, doors that locked only from the outside. It looked like a hotel for weary fairgoers, but it was something else entirely. A death trap built by H. Holmes, the devil in the White City. This is the story of H. Holmes and his murder castle, the Hell's Hotel of Chicago. Herman Webster Mudgett, later infamous as Dr. Henry Howard Holmes, was born May 16, 1861 in New Hampshire. He grew up intelligent, secretive, and fascinated with death. At medical school, Holmes was accused of stealing corpses and faking accidents to cash in on insurance fraud schemes. It wouldn't be the last time death made him money. By the 1880s, he reinvented himself as H. Holmes, pharmacist, entrepreneur, and ladies' man. But beneath the charm, he was a bigamist, a swindler, and, as the press later branded him, the most dangerous man in the world. Today, historians remember Holmes as one of America's first documented serial killers. In 1887, Holmes purchased land at 63rd and Wallace in Englewood, Chicago, where he constructed his infamous murder castle. On the outside, it was a 3-story building with shops and hotel rooms. Inside, it was a labyrinth. Over 100 rooms built with secret doors and trap staircases. Airtight vaults equipped with gas pipes, soundproofed chambers. A chute dropping victims straight into the basement. Below, police later uncovered surgical tables, lime pits, vats of acid, and a massive furnace. One Chicago reporter called it a man trap, engineered by a demon. The Chicago World's Fair gave Holmes the perfect cover. As millions flocked to the city, his castle became the deadliest hotel in America. Holmes preyed on young women lured by dreams of the fair. Many checked in, few checked out. 1891, Julia Smythe, Connor, and her 6-year-old daughter Pearl vanished. Holmes claimed Julia died during an abortion, but both were never found. 1892, his secretary, Emmeline Sigrand, disappeared. Evidence later suggested she suffocated in Holmes's vault. 1893, sisters Minnie and Nannie Williams inherited valuable property. Holmes tricked Minnie into signing it over. Neither was ever seen again. 1894, his most infamous crime, the murder of his partner, Benjamin Pietzel. Holmes then killed Pietzel's children, Alice, Nellie, and Howard. Their bodies were discovered in Toronto and Indianapolis. Holmes confessed to 27 murders, but some newspapers accused him of killing as many as 200 people inside the castle. Historians today estimate the true number at 20 to 50. He profited from death, selling skeletons to medical schools and stripping corpses for study. To Holmes, murder was both pleasure and business. Holmes' downfall began not with murder, but with fraud. The Pinkerton Detective Agency pursued him for insurance scams. He was arrested in Boston in 1894. When police searched the castle, they discovered secret chambers, bones, bloodstains, and claw marks on a vault door, signs of victims desperately trying to escape. Holmes went on trial in Philadelphia in October 1895, accused of killing Pietzel. Reporters described his composure as polite but chilling. The jury found him guilty within an hour. On May 7, 1896, Holmes was hanged at Moyamensing Prison. His final words were cold. "Yes, don't bungle, goodbye." But death didn't come quickly. The noose failed to break his neck. For 15 agonizing minutes, Holmes strangled slowly, his body twitching until still. Fearing even death wouldn't hold him, Holmes requested to be buried in cement, 10 feet deep. Some believed he feared grave robbers. Others whispered he feared damnation. In August 1895, The murder castle was partially destroyed in a fire. Locals believed it was arson, meant to erase the horror. The ruins stood until 1938, when the Englewood post office was built over the site. Workers there still report footsteps, phantom voices, and heavy air in the basement. Some believe bricks from Holmes Castle remain buried beneath. In 2017, Holmes's body was exhumed. To everyone's shock, his corpse was perfectly preserved in cement, mustache intact, as if he had never truly left. More than a century later, H. Holmes remains one of the most infamous killers in American history. The murder castle, also called Hell's Hotel, has become legend. A chilling reminder that evil hides in plain sight and that progress and horror often walk side by side. H. Holmes didn't just build a hotel. He built a death trap, a castle that swallowed lives during the World's Fair. And though the bricks are gone, the legend of the murder castle of H. Holmes lives on. If it still stood today, would you dare to enter? Share your thoughts in the comments. For more such eerie, unsettling true stories, subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss out on the new spooky cookies. Remember, evil wears a smiling grin, where innocence should stay. It hides in plain sight and never fades away. Phew! Let's just wrap up until next time. And as always, my Skooky fam, stay weird, stay spooky.